All right, let's get started. Over on the left-hand side of Blackboard is this blue menu bar where you have home page buttons. There's actually two of them. And then you have your start here. You can start here, and there's a couple examples. Start here, all right? And there's a couple examples of where students had written a little bit about themselves. So take those examples and expand on them after you're familiar with that, and it mentions read the syllabus and so forth. Then you go back to the blue menu bar over on the left-hand side. You'll see the course syllabus there. It's pretty sequential. There's a schedule of activities, or due dates are in there. A little bit about me, and your student introduction is just above that. So you click in student intros, and then there's also, like I said, sequentially more due dates and so forth. And so you have to get familiar with the blue menu bar, and it's sequential. That'll take you through everything that's in the course. So here's the course syllabus and what we're doing in this class. A little bit about that. Okay, so there's no book required. There is one that's recommended. And then it talks a little bit about the software, how to get Adobe Photoshop or the Creative Suite. Some learning outcomes, pretty much mirror what the book would have in it. There is no book. We're just using open educational resources. So breeze through this. It goes through about requirements of the course, attendance policies, and so forth. Make sure that you understand that there's 14 modules. There's 4 projects in this class. And then there's a final exam. So the assessments to the modules are really the book work that you would normally do in the class. That's 30% of your grade. Okay, and so, you have to take them seriously because each one of them is actually worth about 3% of your total grade. So if you miss 3 of them, then you really couldn't get an A in the class, right? Okay, a little bit about the late assignments and so forth. Just familiarize yourself with the policies of the class. It's all written in there. And scroll on down a little bit. And then there's office hours. And I have these written into every one of the syllabuses that you'll take with me. So once you get the rhythm of the class, then each time you do a class, it'd be pretty straightforward. Get through the syllabus. There's the office hours and the virtual office hours. Talks about hard drives and headphones and having a backup system like a hard drive. Okay, so here's the grading criteria. You have 4 projects again. So that's 60%. Each one's worth 15%. And they're on the due dates, which are over on that blue bar again, the schedule of activities. That's where you'll find those due dates and so forth. So schedule of activities, and they may have or may not have an exact date. This one does. But I'll be emailing you and saying that this is the week, or next week, that Friday at 5 p.m., all your projects, for that project is due. Not all your projects, but that project that maybe it's project 2, project 3, and that's just project 4 last week. Okay. And then here's Blackboard. Blackboard is how we communicate and how I teach and give instructions. This little hamburger button has the recordings if you can't make the scheduled time. So you can go back over into Blackboard. You don't log in, you just go over and hit that hamburger button. There's the recordings. So these are your recordings. And then if you're not doing a recording, this is how you join in. So once you join in, it's recording. And then there's the chat right there. So you can write something if you don't have your microphone working. Try to get your microphone working. Here's the settings and so forth. All right. And that's how you leave the session. And then you say good, wonderful things, and you kick out. Okay, so those are the virtual classes. And then here's the modules. So the modules, click in, there's a PDF. It has objectives, talks about what we're trying to do, and then these are the links. So you have to go through the links, then you take the assessment to it. So everyone of these modules. You click into the assessment. There's 10 questions. You get 2 attempts. Take the better of the 2. They're not too tough. Questions come from the modules, and some you can search on the internet. It's fine. But you become familiar with the software that way. So in lieu of a book, we have these modules, and all the classes have that. So there's a lot of time into this. There's 140 questions. A lot of them come from the Adobe Certified Expert exam. So some of them are on design principles. Some of them are on just the software themselves. So knock them out. Earlier is better than later, getting these modules all done. And you have the projects. So the projects are, how you build your portfolio. So you go into project 1. The first part is a PDF that describes the project. And then you have some learning or study activities that go with it. And then the feedback or the discussion form is where you submit. And this one right here is not available. This is just a grading assignment that you don't have to worry about. Okay, it's just for grading. But after you do your project, okay, you go to your projects, you do that, then you go and you submit in the discussion. So discussions are really forums, and you go in there, and you're going to use either a JPEG or a PNG as a compressed file. Okay, and then here's some examples of another class of how it really happens. Okay, so here's a class from last semester. Here's the discussion. Here's project 2. Okay, and then we'll just go in and take a look. You can see that there's a number of different replies. So this is how you get feedback on your projects, is everybody has to, give some constructive comments on a project. So you can see Anthony's project right here. He's submitted a PNG, and then Barbara and Ian, and there's a bunch of people in here, Alyssa and Brianne, and have commented. And then I comment too. So I wait until you guys have all commented, and then I read the comments, and then I give my comments, and we try to make sure you have understanding how you did. Okay, so here's again like the course content. Let's get back into our course, and here's the study guide for the final exam, and this is where you get your grades. Yeah. Okay, so everything's all laid out for you guys. You just simply, do the intro and, your student intro, and then read the syllabus, and then go in and start doing the modules. Participate if you can with Blackboard. The schedule works for you. Watch the recordings. The modules will help you with the software. Start reading on the projects, keep up with your due dates, and then get ready for a final exam. And that's our semester. Cheers.